musicians who committed horrible crimes. There is in fact no Danny DeVito in the back. Not forever, just for this video and maybe the next one. But yeah, we got a Christmas tree.
Some of rock's biggest icons have shocking dark sides. Murder plots, abuse, and more. How did these legends fall so far from grace?
How's the story? They are a Grammy-nominated, chart-topping heavy metal band with a Christian twist.
Before we start, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you like the video, please let us know. Now let's start. Tim Lambesis, lead singer of As I Lay Dying, went from being a Christian music icon to being convicted for hiring a hitman to murder his wife. How does someone go from preaching peace to planning murder? The twisted story of Lambesis' crime shocked the rock community and showed how easily fame and the pressures that come with it can lead to a dangerous path.
And the genius lost his tail. Now he's got to find a way out.
Jane left her phone in the kitchen and it buzzes. It's a text from Dr. Kevin Lee.
Lambesis' crime wasn't just about divorce, it was about cold-blooded calculation. He hired an undercover officer posing as a hitman with plans to kill his wife while he was with his kids for an alibi. It's chilling to think how far some people are willing to go to avoid responsibility.
It becomes obvious to them that everything else in their life can change, but being a father is still, their identity is still what's most important to them. And so...
Surprisingly, after serving time, Lambesis was released early for good behavior, only to return to the music scene in 2018. His comeback was met with outrage, but it also raises a deeper question. Should a person ever be forgiven for a crime like this? And can a person truly change?
Tim Lambesis coming out with his statement after all of the members of As I Lay Dying have quit the band. Let's get into it. I want to give you a couple of show announcements.
It's not just Lambesis who had to deal with the consequences. Guitarist Phil Sgrasso left the band, citing a toxic environment. The music world clearly wasn't ready to forgive, and it's a reminder of the emotional toll criminal actions can have on everyone involved.
But there's a song by the Eagles in 1980 that was released on the fucking Long Run, their last album. And it's called The King of Hollywood. On the way home, put it on.
The Eagles' Don Henley had his own brush with scandal when underage girls were found in his home in 1980. Despite the chaos that ensued, Henley's career was largely unaffected. But how is it that rock stars can sometimes get away with horrible actions while ordinary people face severe consequences?
Real people out there just like you and just like me. So you don't want to mess with Don Henley, all right? Just some advice for people out there.
When Henley's house became the site of an overdose in underage girls, it seemed like the perfect storm of fame, drugs, and tragedy. His arrest for aiding in the delinquency of a minor didn't seem to hurt him, but it certainly raises the question, should fame protect you from the law?
So it doesn't feel like I'm a solo artist, you know, because it's the same guys.
Wait, do you split the money even?
Absolutely not.
You're a solo artist.
Motley Crue's Vince Neil was involved in a fatal crash in 1984, killing Hanoi Rocks drummer Razzle. With blood alcohol levels almost twice the legal limit, Neil's actions led to a 30-day jail sentence and a life forever changed by one reckless night. It's a harsh reminder of how one decision can forever alter lives.
It's a mystery, you cockney fuck. You know, some random fuckers, he trapped the three of you in a room, and he's demanding you fuck one of them.
Razzle's death not only shattered Hanoi Rocks, but also impacted the entire music scene. While Neil's career went on, the tragedy left behind a legacy of sorrow, with Razzle's band never truly recovering. This was more than a crash. It was a catastrophe that echoed far beyond the accident.
Yeah, we're all right. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. And today we have Vince Neil on the podcast. Rock star, legend, one of the best frontmen ever to walk the face of the earth. One of the greatest.
Neil's 30-day jail sentence felt more like a slap on the wrist. Over the years, he'd find himself in trouble again, from DUIs to assault charges. Despite taking a life, it seems like Neil's reckoning has never truly been complete. How many times does a person need to face the consequences before it sinks in?
He did numerous television commercials and film auditions.
Gary Glitter's rise to fame in the 70s was overshadowed by horrific crimes involving child exploitation. His downfall was swift, but the nightmare didn't end there. His conviction for possessing child pornography led to multiple prison sentences, yet his name still lingers in infamy.
They divorced in 1972. In February 2001, whilst living in Cuba, Glitter had another son, Gary Jr. Glitter was banned from driving for 10 years in 1986 following a conviction.
After fleeing to countries like Cuba and Cambodia, Glitter's global run was a lesson in the long reach of justice. He was ultimately caught and sentenced again for unspeakable crimes, showing that even rock stars can't outrun the truth forever.
Downloading child pornography in 1999 and was subsequently convicted of child sexual abuse and attempted rape in 2016 and 2015, respectively.
The shocking reality of Glitter's crimes was finally revealed in full, exposing how he took advantage of vulnerable young girls. The stories of his victims serve as a powerful reminder that celebrity status doesn't exempt someone from facing justice.
You know, you're in a house, no neighbors each side, your kids are asleep, you know, you're on your own. What the hell do you do?
Ozzy Osbourne's infamous behavior took a terrifying turn in 1989 when he attempted to strangle his wife, Sharon. It was a horrifying moment that nearly destroyed his family. But could the addiction Ozzy battled all his life have made him truly out of control during that episode?
That one time when you know, Ozzy was arrested, we were parted for 3 months. And of course, the first month it was like, oh, heaven, no arguments,
Despite this horrific moment, Ozzy found redemption. His decision to go to rehab and get sober turned his life around. It's hard to imagine a life that could have ended in tragedy turning into one of triumph and recovery, but Ozzy's story proves it's possible.
Tina Turner. Yet, in spite of his induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1989, he says the best thing to happen to him the last 15 years was being sent to prison. Tonight, he joins us.
Ike Turner's abusive relationship with Tina Turner is one of the most infamous stories in rock history. The beatings, the emotional abuse, the control, it was an ordeal that lasted for over a decade. Ike's legacy will always be marred by the violence he subjected Tina to.
Any of that stuff true? Is it true, Ike?
It was true. I had a lot of women, and I did do dope, but the fighting and stuff. You know, there's a lot of stuff was said in that book. That book made me something that I've never been. Not even when I was doing dope.
What did it make?
Tina's escape in 1976 was nothing short of a miracle. After years of abuse, she walked away with nothing but her life. Ike's constant denial and minimization of the abuse only made Tina's bravery even more powerful. How many women endure what Tina did before they find the strength to leave?
Sit out there in front of 30,000 people screaming for Ike and Tina Turner, or Ike Turner, or just your rock and roll.
Man, there's no feeling like that in the whole world.
Yeah. Better than sex?
Despite his musical genius, Ike Turner's life descended into chaos. His career was destroyed by his actions, and his addiction to drugs only made things worse. Ike's sentence for drugs didn't match the gravity of the abuse, but it was the beginning of the end for his career.
About the black metal scene. Let's find out.
Varg Vikernes, the man behind Burzum, went from being a black metal icon to a convicted murderer. In 1993, he murdered his bandmate Euronymous in cold blood, a crime that shook the metal world to its core. But how does one go from making music to committing such a brutal act?
There was nothing positive about the black metal scene. Nothing whatsoever. Not even the individuals in it contributed in any positive way.
Varg Vikernes showed no remorse for his actions during the trial. His belief in his superiority, backed by extreme views on race and religion, made him a controversial figure long before the murder. His cold demeanor and refusal to apologize for his crimes left many wondering if he'd ever be held accountable for his beliefs.
But the Norwegian black metal scene from 1991 to 1993 was putrid shit to the core.
Before the murder, Vikernes was involved in a wave of church burnings in Norway. As part of the black metal movement, he believed in chaos and destruction. The church burnings, which he proudly admitted to, painted a picture of a man consumed by extremist ideologies. Released for good behavior in 2009, Varg Vikernes wasted no time returning to his controversial roots. His music, his books, and his online presence continued to spread his dangerous views, making him a figure to watch. Can someone like Varg ever truly be rehabilitated?
You like my style, you like my music, that's a compliment to me. And in reality, it is. If some band sounds like Burzum,
Varg's story serves as a warning of how a toxic ideology can consume a person's life. His legacy is filled with violence, hate, and destruction, and his name is forever associated with the darker side of the music scene.
Everybody can relate to Odin and Thor and Freya in Norway because it's our religion. We are not Christian. Christianity is a Jewish religion. Christianity was originally a Jewish sect.
Varg Vikernes' extreme views on race and his role in promoting white supremacy shed light on the dangers of letting such ideologies fester in music scenes.
Bouts of depression over the course of years and during that time, like the football one for me was a big one. You know, you guys lived my dream of making it to the league.
These rock stars, once adored by fans worldwide, show us the cost of fame. Whether it's mental instability, addiction, or extreme ideologies, it's easy to forget that even the brightest stars can fall hard, often dragging others down with them.
Vice City, San Andreas, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, Chinatown Wars, Grand Theft Auto 4, The Lost and Damned, Ballad of Gay Tony.
As we reflect on these rock stars' horrific actions, the question arises, can someone who has committed such terrible crimes ever truly redeem themselves? Redemption might be possible, but it's a long road. And for many, it might never come. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below, and like we said in the beginning, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It will help us a lot.